Today on episode 234 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our college football week 3 preview, this or that game day experience, the NFL week 3 pick show, and the TCF top 3 of Reese's peanut butter treats. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 234. Make sure to check us out on X at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well. For all of our content in video form, we are on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe there. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there as well. You can subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you do. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts at. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, but make sure to follow the gentleman that I'm joined with tonight. That is Zach at ZLiliaTCF. And we may have Maddie jumping on here in a little bit, but if not, you can follow him at schools_01. Zach, I think we might have finally made it to the end of summer, dare I say?
We have one more day left tomorrow, which will be Friday. Yep. It's supposed to be hot, but yeah, I'm ready for it. Me and my dad went golfing tonight, and right before the sun went down, it was just beautiful, cool. Yep. And then the sun goes down so quickly. But I'm ready for that weather. It's right there,
and it's like cold in the morning. Like I know it's because
you can feel it coming on.
Yeah, and I know it's because of the condensation, but like I've been having to run the defrosters in the morning. Just get rid of the little excess water and all that good stuff. So I can feel it
in the morning.
This is like we talk about every year. This is the weather that this podcast thrives in. We're bigger guys. We're huskier guys. We thrive in the fall.
I like seeing my breath.
If we were, skinny male models, they would probably say summer's their best time. This is our summer, but for husky guys.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll get into it on the sinkers and floaters.
Well, with that being said, let's jump into it then. My sinker is pretty simple this week, and I will talk about it later, but it's the Cubs. It's over. I hate to say it. My subscription to Marquee Network will be ending on September 30th.
That should be the sinker. Is your subscription to Marquee?
Well, that's it. Like renews September 30th, and I'm just like, well, there's no way. So, yeah, season's over.
We'll get more into it on the sports update, but there's some stuff to be excited about. But
for sure,
it's a what if always at the end of the season when you watch so many games and it comes down to it, and then they lose a series to the Rockies or lose a series to the A's and stuff like that, and that's just when you're right there at the end. You still had a chance. You've done not the greatest at the beginning of the season and then played well. And now you're in a spot that you're still looking at that third spot in the wild card. And they had a chance and they blew it.
Yep. It's just, and it sucks, Code, because I kind of had the realization today, the same day that the Chicago Sky were eliminated. So it's like no playoff, even WNBA basketball is better than no basketball. No WNBA playoffs for the Sky. Cubs aren't going to the playoffs.
So weird season. It was like they just couldn't get over the hump.
We've talked about it a million times. Like it'd be one thing, like the hitting would start and then the pitching would go, and the starting pitching would get going, and then the bullpen fell apart, and then they'd get a couple of those. It was just like they could never get all of the holes plugged at the same time if they were on a sinking ship.
Really,
you know what I mean?
I don't think the lineup's going to look much different next year.
No, you really hope they go out and get a big piece. Hopefully they're in on the Soto negotiations. But like, you're the freaking Cubs, you're the Ricketts, you're billionaires. Go cut a check.
My sinker is Cheryl Swoops and her hate
big time
for Caitlin Clark. I don't understand this. Caitlin Clark is having one of the best WNBA seasons of all time in her rookie season. I watched a TikTok, me and Chance did, about how she's kind of playing the same as Cheryl Swoop did in her one of her best seasons.
Better.
And I just don't understand why there is so much hate for some of the younger players from the older generation. Like, I understand you wish that maybe you got this much exposure, but
yeah, it's been nice.
You would think that
It's
you would want
bitterness,
the
dude.
sport to grow. And the way that
It's
they're talking, they don't want Cheryl Swoops does not want her to. It just doesn't make any sense. You'd be like,
yeah,
if you didn't really like her, just be like, oh, she's whatever. But they just the hate and keep going on and on with it.
100%. And like, I mean, there's a million, different reasons why people, pick the players and teams they follow. Like I follow this guy, I watch this guy because they're from Chicago, right? And like when they play against Indiana, I cheer against Caitlin Clark. But like, let's not beat around the bush. Like she's clearly, if not the
And she's
best, the
playing
second
like
best
it
player in
too.
the
And that's the thing.
WNBA.
It's her stats back
Yeah.
everything up.
And like, I think this is in all, and we've talked about this plenty of times, but like it all in all, this is all good for the WNBA. Like no
This
one
has to be
talks
the most watched WNBA season of all time, easily.
100%, 100%. And like,
And they're
I
adding
don't
a team in
see it.
Portland.
Yeah. I don't foresee like that changing anytime soon. You know what I mean? Like
Like Diana
they're,
Taurasi was the same way. Like just why the hate? It just doesn't make any sense.
yeah. And I think two things can be true at the same time. Like you can be a Sky and an Angel Reese fan and still like and respect what Caitlin Clark has done because she is a dog. Like she's already set the WNBA record for assists, period, in her rookie
It
season.
just seems in
It's just
general they
crazy.
don't like the new generation
Yeah.
of WNBA
Dude,
player NBA
it's the
players who are
same thing. Have you watched any of like KG's interviews? Like he does a better job now, but like when KG first started doing a podcast, like it felt like, I guess it might just be the clips I saw, and I don't like KG because he played for the Celtics, but like it felt like he was kind of in that camp of like, well, he couldn't play in my day. And like the older generation is just as guilty as that. People saying, oh, these guys couldn't play in the 90s. Oh, LeBron couldn't play in the 80s and 90s. It's just the dumbest arguments ever. And people just want to
a lot
hang
of
on to
jealousy, and it's just what's the
it is.
point?
But that's how you know that what Caitlin Clark is doing is something spectacular because everybody's talking about it in a sport where not everybody talks about it all the time. And now it's front page of ESPN. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why would you? It just makes no sense.
It's crazy. I think it's going to be a really fun playoffs to watch. So
You said
I'm
adding a
excited.
team too with I think
Yeah,
Portland.
I think you're right. I know it's somewhere out west. My floater this week is Malik Willis. Some people on this podcast said the phrase, "He's the worst quarterback of all time."
They ran the ball all second half.
He literally had like 2 incompletions and has more touchdown passes than other certain quarterbacks in the division. So
That's fine. We'll see how it all ends up. I'm not gonna take one game from Malik Willis and be
maybe all he needed,
rah rah.
like I said, it was because he was in Tennessee. He's not in Tennessee. Maybe that was the case.
Yeah, good for Malik Willis to be back on the bench whenever Jordan Love comes back. So
Yep, that's all right. We'll have the best. We'll have the best backup in the NFL.
not even close.
Who's better?
A lot.
No,
I
you're
would
being
say
silly.
just I would take Tyler Bajan over him
You're
easily.
yeah. I knew that was coming. That's false.
Easily, dude. Tyler Bajan's become a
False.
good quarterback. This is
No, he
crazy.
is
Talk
not.
about Malik Willis like he's some great quarterback, dude. He sucked.
He did not suck last
No, not
weekend.
the game, but he sucked before. He had one good game. We're making Malik Willis sound like this is crazy talk. If you didn't
Hey,
like the Packers, we wouldn't even bring his name up, probably.
nah, I don't know if I agree there.
I just can't take this, Malik Willis.
I just had to do it to
Yeah,
get
good for
a
him.
new
He's
skin.
making $2 million this year. He'll be happy.
That is true. I would gladly take that job, and I do a lot worse job than he did.
I don't know. Well, if you change, you can turn and just hand the ball off, right?
I would like to think so, but I can't guarantee it.
I'm pretty sure that's all he's doing it 14 times in a professional football game. That's like Michigan numbers.
All I know is he had like 10 completions last week and a touchdown, and a W.
Good for him.
That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Did you play?
The Colts, who are going to beat you guys this weekend.
No, they are. The Colts stink. My floater is fall weather. It's awesome. I'm so happy for it. I'm excited for it. It's what my closet is really made for.
100%.
I definitely have more like sweatpants and comfy clothes than I do like shorts and stuff and short sleeve shirts. So it's the best time of the year.
I usually like end of May, middle of May, depending on the weather, will pack away most of my hoodies in a little, compartment thing and put it up in the closet. And I feel like they've been whispering to me here lately, man. They just want to be let out. I'm ready to bust them out and get those puppies going because we are definitely hoodie guys, sweatpant guys.
Yeah, it's a crisp coolness when you go outside.
We're
I'm
playing
ready
golf
for it.
this Saturday, and I got a feeling might be a little hoodie snuck in the old golf bag just in case.
Yeah, hopefully.
I wouldn't argue with it. I would
Nice.
not argue with that at all. We do have a celebrity floater, Maddie, who we're hoping to be joining us here soon. Sent this to me. This hits home. I don't think any of us would go this crazy about it, but headline reads: Philadelphia man accused of making fake bomb threat over a fantasy football feud. Says here in Philadelphia, federal charges and an
Yeah,
intern.
in what world though does somebody think that's a good idea?
Yep. He falsely accused a fellow player of intending to carry out violent acts. Matthew Gabriel, 25, of Philadelphia, pled guilty to 2 counts of interstate and foreign communication of threats after prosecutors say he made false tips to police in the
That's
United
insane.
States and overseas,
Imagine
claiming his rival was planning a bombing and mass, the
that
Department of
person.
Justice.
They must have showed to that person's house.
That's crazy. I
That's
have I have two
not for the
very
love of the game,
stinky
man. That's too much.
I have 2 very stinky fantasy football teams this year, and would never think to call in bomb threats. And
That guy will not be in the fantasy league because he'll be in jail.
yeah, it's hard to run a fantasy team on ESPN fantasy app with from
It's hard to
federal,
explain to your family of
not
why you're
even
going
just
to
county
jail.
jail. This is a federal offense.
Why are you going to jail? Because of fantasy football.
Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. Don't take it that seriously, folks.
And really, what would have happened? I don't understand what he would have benefited from.
I
Not
don't
making
quite,
a lineup.
but hey, my hatred of Philadelphia sports fans. So I mean, I kind of par for the course, don't we think?
Yeah, it is crazy. That's just
Let's jump into some TCF Sports Minute. You want to recap the Bears last week, or do you want to look ahead to the week first?
we'll recap it. They played well
Sunday
against
night.
a top 5 team in the league right now, which they are ranked
Yeah.
top. They're ranked 5th in the league. It was a game that you would have probably most likely had an L anyways, going into the game into Houston on a Sunday night against CJ Stroud. And you had a chance to win the game at the end. You're going to go to Indianapolis this week against a team that they just lost against the Packers. Anthony Richardson has not played up to his expectations, and hopefully the defense can go out there and do what they got to do, and hopefully Caleb Williams can have a good game. I just want to have a good game.
And I agree. I think he looked better this in week 2 than he did in.
He's always on the run. He's always on the run. It's hard
I
to
think that's
be
a
a
huge part of
pocket
it.
quarterback. A pocket quarterback when you literally cannot stay in the pocket. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
he's Justin Williams, Justin Fields, Justin Williams. That's good. He's just running around. No, he has to do that because
Yeah.
the offensive line is giving him no time.
He's going to get killed back there. Like Big Cat said, he's going to get murdered if this is going to continue.
Like Big Cat said, though, we got to figure it out. There's nothing we can do to change it other than hopefully make some moves. We're in the spot now where we just got to hopefully find a good rotation.
Yeah, I think that they might have to go out, and I can't remember. I think it might have been on the score today, but they were talking about you might have to take that second round pick of Carolina that you own and package something to try and maybe make a trade for something there.
Got to remember, they're not drafting for a quarterback this year. They're looking at the offensive line pretty much.
Right.
That's all they're going to look at for the draft this year, which is awesome because they have an opportunity to not have to fill so many spots like they usually do. So
Right.
that will help, but that's a year away. So
On a scale of 1 to 10, how close is the panic button for you? Like, do you have that thought in your head
like
that, like,
2 or 3, literally
okay,
like 2. It's not. I mean, if you're panicking right now, you should be happy to be 1-1. Really.
I hate to be this guy and be an I told you so guy, but like Matt Eberflus, I talked about him at the beginning of the year. Like, there's serious question marks there.
Oh yeah, but what helps that winning. It's just always how it is.
But it seems to be like obviously outside of the challenges, I feel like he might be
But
the worst
he
challenger in
doesn't
football.
call the offense anymore, which people don't realize.
Yeah, and like don't get me wrong,
He
I think if he were to say the Bears move on from him and he will get any defensive job he wants. I think he's one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. But there's something lacking there and
I think you gotta
from
look at the offensive coordinator, really. It's this guy comes in from Seattle, and these play calls are the same as last year.
Mhm. Yeah, they're not picking up
It's really
stuff on
true
the
if you
front
look at
line.
it. We had one of the I don't know,
I
whatever defense in
also
the league, and that's because of Eberflus. So you gotta look at it
yeah.
that way too.
Yeah, but like I still feel like even though through 2 weeks they haven't even let Caleb Williams do what he is supposed to be able to do. It's still a lot of like screen passes and hit the first slant and dump offs. Like they're not. And I will say this: I don't think that his deep ball has looked very good at all. He's overthrowing wide receivers like crazy. His two underthrows that jumped out got picked, but then it's like everything else. I feel like he's missing over by 5-6 yards. I mean, he's overthrowing guys, but I also wonder if that's because he knows he's only going to get 3 or 4 opportunities to throw a ball past 10 yards. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
also, I mean, you can't look back and really find a perfect pocket for him ever.
Yeah, and that also makes it insanely
Because
hard to
CJ
judge.
Stroud is all the time, even though the Bears defense played well, that offensive line is still good. And then
Yeah,
you gotta get the running game going. That's all you have to
that
get the
running game's
running game
bad.
going.
But also, in the same breath, like the running game is bad because they have no run blocking. You
Well,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
it all comes back to the offensive line. I mean, you're gonna run that's just gonna be arguing in a circle.
Yeah. I hope there were some, for your sake, that some rear ends got chewed out this week because that was pitiful.
If it takes that though, then you shouldn't be on the team. If you're professional athletes, you should want to win every game.
Yeah, that was a very poor performance. But looking ahead, Indianapolis at Indy, right?
Yes.
At Indy. Like you said, though, also another young quarterback who's starting his fifth game since he got hurt
Mm-hmm.
last
Yes.
because he was named the starter and then tore his ACL. Um, how confident are you going in?
I'm actually pretty confident in this game. I think that this defense is going to show out, and I think it's going to be a good game for Caleb Williams. He just needs to get a little swagger, and it's hard to do that when you're not doing well. And maybe if he has a good game, you can have some fun playing football because this offensive line is not letting him have fun.
Yeah, it feels like he never even got to enjoy the first win because of his whatever sub 100 yards performance, and he seemed like he took that pretty hard, which obviously you would hope he would. And then obviously the loss in week 2, you almost need him to have one of those big games where they just let him do his thing. And I still feel like he hasn't gotten the opportunity to even do that. So I will say that Indy, coming in 0-2. Oh no, yeah, 0-2. Hungry dogs at home. It's not going to be an easy task for sure. I think.
Well, no, it's the NFL. It never is. So I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah. Do you know off the top of your head? I'm trying to pull it up here. Getting some spotty internet. Are the Bears? Bears are a 1.5-point dog.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I think there's a big opportunity there, though. I mean, noon game.
The
You
Bears
gotta you
defense
gotta bounce back.
alone should have them ahead in this game.
The what?
The Bears defense alone should have them favored in this game, I think.
I don't disagree. It'll be an interesting one for sure. Let's go ahead and jump to the Cubbies. Cubbies are all but out of it. They're tied right now, 6-6 against the Nationals. They're 7 games out of the wild card. Like I said earlier, it's over. It's over.
Spend some money this offseason. We got to
Yep.
spend some money and can't keep wasting good pitching either.
Stop being billionaires crying poor and go cut a check. I don't care. We sat here when Ohtani signed with the Dodgers and be like, oh, that's a crazy amount of money. What does it matter? What does it matter
Who
how much
cares?
money that a billionaire
I'm not
spends
paying
on
them.
baseball? They're billionaires. Go cut the check. You saw what the Dodgers did. Take a blueprint from that. Go do it with Juan Soto.
Yeah.
I don't care. Spend the check.
Make
It's
him
money.
have to move on in a
Yep.
way of you have to give him every dollar that he wants.
And then some.
And then some. And
You know what I mean?
it should be down to the Cubs and somebody else. It just
It's
has
so
to be.
funny that we had this discussion about when Ohtani signed, and then he became the first player today. We're recording this Thursday night. Today, he became the first player in Major League Baseball history. I don't know if you guys have checked. Major League Baseball's been around a long, long
Yeah,
time.
6
He's
for
the first
6,
one to go
6 for
50-50
6,
club.
10 RBIs.
But not like he became the first member. That's insane. 50-50.
Right. And next year he's in a pitch.
Yeah. So you know what? It's billionaires' money. I don't care. Spend the check. Quit crying poor. Go get some players.
And it's a real. You gotta look back and go, hey, those games at the beginning, the first 2 months, they matter a lot.
Yes. You got to get. I feel like spring training has to have a little bit more sense of
Guess what? The
urgency.
Brewers aren't going anywhere. They're gonna be good for a while.
They're good. They're tough, man. That Churio kid is, and not even just him, man. They're just a good baseball
You know
team.
what?
It's
I would say the Cubs season is disappointing.
yeah. Oh, for sure. 100%.
Because you look at it, they should have had at least that third wild card spot.
Yeah. It's the inconsistency this year that just absolutely killed them.
Yeah,
Can't happen.
you only get so many chances to be that close every year.
Yep. Exactly. You're wasted. Ian Happ's best year at the plate.
Yeah, he's statistically gonna have the best season of his career probably.
Yep.
And unfortunately, you gotta look at guys like Dansby Swanson who
Not
struggled
getting
when
any
we
younger.
needed him the most.
Well, not even that. Him and Imanaga and Suzuki, they're not getting any younger.
No.
Let's
we just
go.
paid him a lot of money too.
Yep, exactly. So, it could be a lot worse. It could be way worse. The White Sox, 36 and 117. They
But
got
you
on
would
a
say
little hot streak.
they expected it. They expected this. They weren't expecting to do very well. I mean, I guess you never
But they
expect
weren't
to be the worst
expecting to
team of
be
all
the worst
time.
team in Major League Baseball.
Which they still aren't yet.
History.
They haven't become that yet. This team, you think about it, they're fighting as hard as a playoff team is right now because you do not want to be on the team that is the worst of all time.
If my math is right, I think they need 5 more wins, and they've got 10 games left.
They call it the tragic number is 4.
Yeah. Because if they get, I think they do have 10 games left. Maybe it's 9.
But it's tough. But at least you didn't have any expectations. Like you weren't excited about anything really. You were hoping that they were going to make the playoffs at any time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, expected to be bad. I don't know if they expected this bad, but it is what it is. Season's almost over, and they can move on. Moving on, last thing in the Chicago Sports Minute, the Sky were in the playoffs up until 5 hours ago, 4 hours ago, and they have been eliminated.
I don't mean to be rude, but I think 4 teams don't make the playoffs or something like that.
Yeah, it's not good. But like we were talking off air, like 3 of their starters for the whole season were out in the last game.
Hey, they got in the lottery.
Yeah, they actually if it just goes off of seeding, they'll have the number 3 overall pick, I think.
Haley Van Lith.
I don't hate it. Paige Beckers, she'll probably be number 1, but we'll see. Yep, season's over. Get Angel Reese healthy, get some more pieces around her. Cardoza, keep those girls healthy. We'll be back next year with hopefully a very
Think
high
about it. They
first
went
pick.
straight from like Angel Reese. She went straight from college to playing like Keelan Clark. All of them girls that got drafted just this year. You imagine how tired they got to be.
Seriously,
Ugh.
yeah. 40-game season right after, like literally right after their college
It's crazy.
season.
they would never do that to the NBA. I think they got to rethink that. I know they
I
want
tell
to
you
kind
this,
of.
though. I feel a little bit more confident about the Sky's future than I do another basketball team in Chicago's future,
Who's that?
the Bulls.
Well, yeah.
But
The
that's
training
not
camp
saying
has to
much.
be starting soon.
It's got to be. Yep, coming up here soon. But before we move on, a big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure you guys check them out. I promise they have the best coffee grounds and products that you are going to find anywhere. They work with our guy, Dom Frederick. They work with our guy, Ian Happ. Like we said earlier, Ian Happ having statistically his best year at the plate because he starts his morning with Connect Roasters coffee. I'm telling you that. So make sure you check out their website, connectroasters.com. Find them on X at Connect Roasters. When you make your way over to Bourbonnais, make sure you visit the storefront. I promise you will not be disappointed. Go check out connectroasters.com. So as always, a big shout out to our friends over in Bourbonnais at Connect Roasters. We've got Maddie back on the show with us here as we dive into college football week 3. I've got 5 games here for us to throw around. First one, Friday night, Illinois heads on the road to Nebraska. Nebraska's a damn good football team. Illinois 3-0 to start the season. Do the Illini have any shot in Lincoln against the Cornhuskers?
I hope they do. That'd be so cool. They
Dude,
don't have
I
a
don't
chance.
think-
No, they
I
don't
don't think
really have a chance.
Nebraska has played anybody yet, dude. Like, I'm not sold on Nebraska. For one, this is a prime Brett Bielema game.
But it's
This
in
is a game.
Nebraska.
I know, but this is one of those games that Brett Bielema is
Compton.
going. He slows it the fuck. Like he turns it into an absolute pig fest, dude. And this is going to be right up Illinois' alley. I did reach out to a friend in Michigan. Shout out old roommate DM. He took care of placing the Illini +8 for me on DraftKings in Michigan.
Yeah,
so
Illinois is going to figure that out.
This is ridiculous. Yes, protect our kids, but not anybody else's. Fuck all them other kids. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
All the other students and all the other colleges in every other state.
If you live in
Fuck
Chicago,
them.
you can go like an hour and a half over to Indiana and make the bet. So you're not really saving anybody.
It's ridiculous. Or if you're in the Quad Cities, you cross the river.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, I do like the Illini.
At least the cover at the very least. If I could, I think I'd sprinkle a little bit on the old money line, but I do think Nebraska is a really good football team, especially not necessarily the way they closed out Colorado, but that first half was, if they can get to that, they're going to beat a lot of teams. But like you said, Maddie, Bielema being famous for these, turn it into like a game from 1985 and just bleed everything out and make you not make mistakes. It's tough.
Let's be real. I don't mean to steal a take from like PMT, but the Patrick Mahomes, Dylan Raiola thing it's very, very odd.
Yeah,
like at that point to be doing like that kind of thing, like with the pregame thing, that caps out high school. Weird when he goes, latest.
He goes,
that's
I'm
the last time you can get away with that.
It's like you are definitely meaning to do that. Like
you have his number, you have his hair, you have every man. This is Jordan Kobe again, and that I get it, but I'm telling you, dude, you got to break away, or it's going to follow you everywhere.
You're exactly right there.
Especially when you're going to be competing against the guy. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's very true. Be your own person. You're a very good quarterback. Next game I got down here is USC at Michigan. The 11th ranked Trojans head to Ann Arbor. USC -5 in this one. What are we thinking, boys?
That's crazy. I think that's crazy.
I took USC. I adjusted it to -4, but I do like Miller Moss. I think that kid's legit, dude. He's like, I took him plus 2,400 to win the Heisman too. I really like Miller Moss. The defense for USC is way better than it's been. Lincoln Riley obviously knows how to run an offense, and dude, I actually think USC is really tough this year.
And I think Michigan's. I know it's a lot of it's coming off of national championship, but like I don't think Michigan's a great football team.
Their defense is elite. Their defense is elite, still, in my opinion. But their offense has not come together yet, and it's going to have to because USC is still going to be able to score.
I just think that they're going to want to come out and not get embarrassed again at home.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm just afraid they might not have the dogs anymore.
They might not be able to, but they want to.
They might not have the dogs anymore. That's my only concern, especially offensively. But I think people are underestimating how big of a loss like Corum and McCarthy really were.
Big time.
And Roman Wilson, too.
I think I also very much worry about a home dog betting against Michigan there, because I just have it in my brain, especially in the Big Ten. You go into, especially another ranked opponent, having a lot of question marks around them.
Everything both you and Zach are saying, I tend to normally agree with, like in any other situation. But in this one, it's not Harbaugh, and Sharon Moore is not Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And this offense is not last year's Michigan offense. That's where I'm like getting hung up on this game. So like from just speaking strictly to the numbers, like you guys are, I tend to agree with you. Like, there's no reason the team that won the national title last year at home should be a 5.5 point underdog to a team that won 7 games last year. Like, that shouldn't make sense. However, I just think they're two totally different animals than what they were last year. And I think like some of the convolution in college football is that's where it's like getting hung up still.
And USC is a team that can get the players quickly.
They get there quickly, and their defense is way better than it was last year, dude. Like, I don't think their defense has made big strides from what that trash that they threw out last year was.
Yeah, that was bad.
I don't realize how beautiful Southern California is.
Yeah,
pretty easy
it is very
easy to recruit
there. Easy to recruit. We'll say ocean and girls, and you're good to go. Like, they got it both plentiful.
The third game I have written down is who I think is the best team in the country. Tennessee goes to Oklahoma. I think Tennessee is the best team in the country. Now, granted, they've played absolutely nobody, but big test on the road this week.
Elite fight song. Let's not kid ourselves. Rocky Top, when the band gets going, Rocky Top, dude, it is.
But not going to be as big of a threat in Norman, Oklahoma.
I agree. I'm just saying that was a sidebar. When I hear Rocky Top, when Tennessee is good, it's the thing of magic. I'm just going to say. But anyway, you're right. 7-point line now. I think it opened up 8, 7.5. It's come down a little bit. I think Oklahoma could give them problems. I do think Tennessee's the better team. I think Tennessee.
I'm not saying Tennessee's going to lose, but 7 points on the road at Oklahoma is crazy.
In the SEC. Yeah.
The only part of the emotional side of things I don't want to undersell is Heupel going back to Oklahoma. He does want to stick it up their butt.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Will he be able to? Maybe.
He's got the dogs too. He's got the dogs to do it. If their offense is elite.
And this is a statement game for them too.
Big time. It's a welcome to the SEC kind of like.
Yeah.
It's a lot. There's nothing to it.
I also feel like it's a welcome to real college football to Nico, right? I mean, kid's really playing in his first big game. I mean,
big game, big atmosphere, good talented team. You know, Oklahoma's not the defense that they, you'd probably come to expect, with that coaching staff. But at this point, it's the days of Lincoln Riley, Bob Stoops offense that's not what this Oklahoma team is. They're not scoring 60, 70 points a game anymore.
Yeah.
And they're more of a grinded out defense, a little bit better, back end side of things than what they've had, but their offense is not, hasn't clicked the way that you've seen Tennessee, because they've been a well-oiled machine so far.
I think that's going to be a really fun one.
And in the run game, I like
the
Tennessee.
late game. You'd like Tennessee and the points? I
like Tennessee to win the game. I don't know. I haven't bet that one yet. I've bet a lot of college already this week, but that's one game I haven't touched yet.
The late game, we've got Kansas State at BYU, both coming in 3-0. Kansas State a 7-point favorite right now. I like
Kansas
State.
Do you see a 7 active right now? Because I might have to pause for a second and grab my phone, because I saw 6.5 earlier, and I loved BYU at 7, and I could not find it anywhere.
It's on Bet ESPN. I've got the ESPN line pulled up here. I'll be honest, it's kind of the same thing like the last couple games we've been talking about, is home dogs opening up conference play in a late start on the West Coast. I kind of like BYU here.
It's also the best game ever too. It's at late night, and you're gonna need
late night Provo, dude. Like, it's gonna be
a good game too.
Yeah, it's gonna be electric. I think that it's a BYU making their entrance into the conference. It's gonna be. I think it's a big moment for them. Crowd's gonna be for sure. It's weird too. Have you noticed? And I don't mean to turn this into a religious thing here, but the Mormon money at BYU for NIL in both recruiting basketball and football.
And there's still rich Mormons.
If you've noticed, they are linked to damn near every one of the top 25 basketball
Yep.
players in the country now. BYU has got money, and they're going to be a problem to deal with. I'm telling you, in buckets especially. And if they start putting that money into football, it's a good conference. The Big 12, I don't think has lost a beat. I think the Big 12 is as entertaining as it was with Texas and Oklahoma. And I'm an Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma. Like I'm not anti-Oklahoma at all.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a fun one. Last game I had on the docket. The docket here is I had to do it. My 23rd ranked Huskies hosting Buffalo.
Big game.
Big game. Haven't played since the Notre Dame game. Obviously, all the national press surrounding it. They're a 13.5-point favorite at home. And I'll be honest, I think NIU is going to win this game. I think 13.5 is a lot.
So many points in any football game. It's 2 touchdowns.
That I don't know if Buffalo's not a bad football team either.
No, but NIU is a grinded out team.
Yeah, that just seems like a lot. Overs they're a 13.5-point favorite, and the over's only at 43.
My goodness.
So defense. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. I wish I could make it up to DeKalb on Saturday, but this is one you have because next week the Huskies go to NC State. And if you want to keep any buzz about the MAC and your program going, you've got to take care of this one in kind of convincing fashion as you get ready to go over to Durham, North Carolina to play the Wolfpack. So this is a big one.
Don't forget the Broncos of Western Michigan are lingering later on in November too.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. Ever since
TCF Sports, they're going to be there to play.
Flex in Minnesota now. Come on, give me a.
I know that's what I'm saying. PJ Fleck left, and they haven't been the same since.
But they've been pretty good. They've got a lot of talent this year. They won the bowl game last year.
You're not wrong.
Jalen Buckley is a freshman out of Aurora, local kid too. He was.
I have a lot more respect for the Broncos than I do some others.
I do like their little rivalry they've got brewing. It's a good. They've got they're two of the more talented, like just in terms of like sheer talented rosters in the MAC. So I do like that.
Western Michigan off this week.
Correct. They start up with, I think, who do they got? Is it Kent State to kick off the conference? I thought they had them.
I believe so. Kent State pretty bad at football. Found that out last week.
Real. Kent State not good.
That was what I couldn't tell if Tennessee was just the greatest football team of all time or. If
Kent State is the perfect appetizer to kick a season off for a good team right now.
Yes, absolutely. I think the following week, I'm trying to pull it up here. Western goes to Marshall next week.
Okay, there we go. Thundering Herd.
Any other games you guys want to throw around here? Kind of a slower week, kind of like last week.
I'm good.
Next week should be, or the 12th. Keep October 12th circled.
Yeah, that's the big one.
That's the big Saturday there.
That is the big one. Let's move into a segment we have done in the past. We're bringing it back from earlier this summer, this or that. And I'm going to title this one Game Day Experience. I'm going to give you guys two options. You make your choice. You tell me why. All right. So first one, ticket at the 50-yard line, 20 rows up, or a sideline pass. Which one are you choosing?
Sideline pass.
Yeah, you got to go sideline pass, but ticket – it's hard to see the full game from the sideline.
That's what my argument.
But at least you can move because, like this, when you're at the 50, even though like it's a great seat for most of the game, when they're at the goal line, that doesn't help you.
Yeah,
I think I thought about this long and hard because I think they're both incredible options. But I go sideline pass because, and the way my brain operates is you can move around, but not only that, you can park at one of the end zones and you can see the play off in the distance on the other end, and then when it's in front of you, I mean, obviously you have the best seat in the house. So I think I would probably lean sideline pass, but I
know most people don't like end zone seats for like football games, but I think end zone seats are pretty solid.
Our seats at Notre Dame were like end zone, but to the right, and I had zero problems with our seats, so I have no complaints.
You can see the plays develop and all that. It's like looking at like an all-22 almost.
Well, next one, VIP box or front row tickets?
VIP. Front row tickets, there's so many people behind you, and it's just like it's a hassle almost.
Yeah.
Depends on the type of the event, but most events I agree with Zach. Yes, VIP.
As a guy who doesn't spend a lot of time in VIP boxes, I'll go ahead and pick that as well. Just because
Yeah.
here's the big thing, and Matt, we touched on it earlier, as we do every single fall. Being the Husky guys that we are, fall is our time to shine, right? And with games coming up, all that was on my mind when I was thinking about these options is the food spread. And having that food at your disposal in the VIP box beats the heck out of having to go front row.
Can I just throw this out though? Like, if you're looking at VIP versus front row, I think you have to consider the event, because football,
For sure.
1,000,000% you're taking VIP box. I don't care who you are, where you are. Football.
Oh yeah.
There's too much of a distance.
Basketball, I would not say that.
Basketball, like say UFC, say baseball, I'm probably taking still front row in most of the stadium. But if you start moving me to the outfield, I wouldn't mind a VIP behind home plate. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yep.
Especially at a good stadium.
Tough
with
though,
good
because
food.
then the people behind you, that would be hard.
Right. So I think there's some consideration to the event first before blanketly VIP versus first row. That's my only, like hockey. You're going to want to be on the glass as opposed to like a 300 level club seat. The glass seats are a different level. Typically, I like being 200 level, but if you're on the glass, that's the best.
Glass would be so sick.
The glass is the best experience.
I have sat on the glass at the Ice Hogs game, and obviously I know it's minor league different from the NHL, but when I sit at the glass, it all depends on if you're in the near the middle or near the end. Because if you're near the end, the glass like distorts everything, and you can't see it great.
Go sit at the face-off circles and watch Nathan McKinnon skate around, and tell me that you'd rather be in the 300 level in a VIP as opposed to fucking right in front of your face. Because that was like a religious experience watching that dude fly up and down the ice.
From my experience so far, I'm going VIP box, but I might have to take you up on that, Maddie.
I'm just telling you, especially now, do it for the Hawks now while it's still cheap.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
And guess what? It's not.
It's still, even still, you're paying $500.
Yeah.
That's out of my budget. Fast bathroom lines or fast concession lines? You only get one. This is an easy one for me.
Bathroom.
For a guy who pees all the time, it's got to be bathroom.
I'm way too old, dude. Way too old. I can deal with a bellyache.
A bathroom line is just weird.
I would rather, because like I said, I'll always miss something in a game because I have to go to the bathroom. And a lot of times it's because of the line where I can just not eat for 3 hours. I can not pee for 3 hours.
Especially if you've had a few beers at a game or a concert or something.
Yeah.
Like once the seal's broken, forget it. It's not stopping then at that point. So
outside of sleep, I don't know the last time I went 3 hours without peeing. I'm going to be very honest.
Might want to get your prostate checked done. I just want to warn you about that.
I drink a gallon of water a day. That's my problem.
All right.
But yeah, I think we're all in the same loop here. Fast bathroom lines. Last one, boys. And this is more of a football thing. A big, giant, like SEC size tailgate or a smaller, more tranquil mac chimney
tailgate. No, SEC. I want to grill the gator if I'm at LSU and we're playing Florida. I want to grill the tiger meat if we're playing Auburn. Wildcat meat if we're playing.
You know what? I'm gonna go neither. I don't like any of that. I don't.
You don't like tailgating?
No, I hate it.
Tailgating is one of my favorite events there is. I'd
rather with you, man.
A lot of times go to tailgating as opposed to go to the game.
Obviously, I have the ability of retrospect, but even a small tailgate, which I'm used to because of going to NIU, I'm used to smaller tailgates.
Western Michigan didn't have big ones. I'll put it that way.
I'd rather go to a smaller one than a big one for sure.
I think just the lack of experience I've had with big ones makes me want to at least experience it one time.
I went to an Illinois.
LSU, there's so many forces and people that are like tradition here and tradition here. It's like, dude, I don't know. I think it's just annoying.
I went to an Illinois game at Michigan, and the tailgating there is on a golf course. It's on like this old golf course next to the football stadium. And it was fucking outstanding. Like there was so much room. There was so much food. Like people were playing bags. It was just like a giant party from 6 in the morning until 11 when the game kicked off. It was so much fun.
I enjoyed, whether big, small. Well, like I said, we just had a couple lawn chairs, and luckily the guests I was with brought a meat and cheese tray. We had a couple
That's all you
drinks.
need. You don't need a grill. You need food and alcoholic drinks or whatever refreshments that you want for the day.
We had the bag set out.
That's all it is.
It was a good day.
Don't drink, grab some sodas and some whatever. Bring some 5-hour energies and turn the party up. I don't care, whatever. But the 6 a.m. till 11 o'clock cookout, have some subs, have some like just the whole snack platter out there. Feed your face so you don't have to waste money in the game. It's perfect.
Man, we might done that. Don't want to do it.
Maddie, I think we might have to get to an NIU tailgate here this year if they keep winning, buddy.
Yeah, I'm fine. That sounds good to me.
Zach, you're welcome to join us, but it doesn't sound like Zach wants to.
No, I'm good. I'll be watching the game at home.
Nice and toasty.
On my couch. Away from people. Just watching it by myself.
Fair enough. Let's jump into it, boys. We've got the week 3 of our NFL pick show. Little recap here. Let's see. Zach is in first place.
Bad week.
He is only beating. There's no way that bad. Yeah, that's right. Zach is beating me. A bad week. 2-4 last week. Maddie went 1-5, but Maddie did pick up his first win of the year. And then I went 4-2. So standings go Zach at 7-5, me at 6-5-1, and Maddie at 1-11. So time to turn it around, Maddie.
That can't be true.
That is 100% true.
That can't be true.
I will right now. I'm going to type in. I'm going to share the document with you. You take a look at it. I've shared it with you already this year.
Let's just keep it moving.
Nope, because I know Zachary, because it has been 4 years of me being harassed for being a cheater. So you've been shared the access. Let me know where I was wrong. I will not stand for this blasphemy anymore.
All right, let's move on.
All right. So noon games. Who wants to go first?
I will go first. I got Bears plus 1.5 at Colts. Not even just because I'm a Bears fan. I just think that the Bears are better than the Colts. And the Texans -2 going into Minnesota, starting off 2-0 Minnesota. I think they're going to get a reality check this week against a very good defense and also very good offense.
And also, Zach, you've had the Bears both weeks, and they both hit for you. So,
yeah, what are you going to do?
I don't disagree with you on the Texans. I think that Houston's going to win this.
It was good teams win, great teams cover.
Bingo. Maddie, who you got?
First one I got. Actually, that's a 3 o'clock game. I was thinking it was noon. For noon, I'm gonna go with Tennessee laying 2.5. I think that's like a trap spot, especially if Willis plays. I don't think they're going to be able to.
You missed it. You missed it. He was talking like this guy was the best thing of all time before you came on.
The game plan with the Malik Willis is not going to work 2 weeks in a row. I think LaFleur was a genius. LaFleur was a genius last week. I thought what he did with Drew Up was brilliant. They won with 13 points. I don't think it was some electric fucking output from Malik Willis.
16.
Be real here. Thank you for the correction.
No problem.
Noted. But 16 against, a defense that's proven to be very impactful, especially on the defensive line. So I don't think the running game is going to be able to just gash them like they did last week. So I'm going to take Tennessee laying 2.5 at home. Plus, it just seems like a weird number. And I think I'm going to take Cleveland laying 6.5. I think the Giants are a dumpster fire, and I think Cleveland is actually really good. So I think it's a touchdown's a fair number for them to cover.
All the Giants can talk about is not getting Saquon back. It's like every week they talk about it.
No, like get your team in order. You know what I mean? Like all they have is neighbors at this point. That guy's legit, but outside of him, they have a lot of problems.
I am falling in love with this Los Angeles Chargers team. I think I've taken them every game or every week this year. I will take them plus 1.5 on the road at Pittsburgh. I still don't think Pittsburgh's very good. I understand that this is their second week in a row on the East Coast, but I don't know what it is. I like this Chargers team. I like Jim Harbaugh. I like just
They
like
stay
what they're
there.
doing.
You know
They
that
don't- they
every
stayed up.
Chargers game will be intense
Yes,
because
and
of
I shouldn't say that I think Pittsburgh is bad. I still don't think Pittsburgh figured it out yet, I guess is the best
very
way.
good defense. They have a
Yeah.
very good defense.
I could
I
listen
agree.
to that Harbaugh clip about liking people that like football.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I just feed it into my blood. I could
It's like-
I feel that so much.
His brain is just a football.
It is.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
100%.
love it.
He just loves football.
Yeah. I like guys that like football, and those guys like me. They like me back.
I don't know why, but in my second game, I'm going to kind of play against what the trend has been. I'm going to take the Eagles plus 2.5 going to New Orleans. I feel like New Orleans is kind of a little bit inflated here because of the way they played last week. Don't get me wrong. I think they're playing really well, but I don't know if they can continue that.
On it right now.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all, but also
for doing the Michael Jackson
14,000. But also
That's
Philly
crazy.
coming off of a bad home loss to a Falcons team that's still trying to figure it out. I think this is a big bounce back opportunity. I don't know. I just like the Eagles here. Moving to the afternoon.
I would like the Eagles if they didn't have Sirianni as their coach.
I'm starting to think that too.
I think that guy's he's a total.
He looks like he
dude. That
yells
guy's
at
an
the
idiot.
players when they're doing good.
Yeah,
He doesn't look like he has a fucking clue what he's doing.
yeah, they're tough to like. He's tough to watch, but I think they have enough talent there that I just think they have to bounce back after a bad loss. And New Orleans' head is a little inflated due to what they've looked like the first 2 weeks. So that's why I'm going against the Saints. Matt, Zach, who you got in the afternoon, buddy?
I have 49ers minus 6.5 at the Rams. Rams losing their 2 star wide receivers. So
Yeah.
that's tough. I just don't know. And the 49ers, after losing to the Vikings, are going to want a big win. And then the Lions minus 3 going into Arizona. I think I'm just not a big fan of Arizona, and I like the number. Also, 5 3:00 games.
That is nice.
Finally.
That is
Finally.
Zach, I don't disagree with you on that Detroit pick. But I think this is a game Arizona has to prove that last week wasn't just a Rams injury fluke. If you want to be considered a real football team, like a real contender, you got to do it again. And against a very good football
Kyler
team.
Murray wants to be taken seriously as a top quarterback. He's got to win games like that.
Yep, exactly. Maddie, who you got?
First one, I'm going dumpster diving. I'm taking Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket in Carolina plus 5.5. It's a weird number. The Raiders kind of had I don't know what you want to call that win against Baltimore. We're going to talk about Baltimore again here in a second. But I don't think that Raiders win was like all that. I don't know. It seemed like it was just kind of.
Andy Dalton's a quarterback that can come in though and spark the team.
Keep a game close. That's that. Thank you. That's the way to put it. And I'm not sold on the Raiders. I guess that's the only way I can put that one. Second game, like I said, I'm going to the Ravens-Dallas game. I think Baltimore is going to start off 0-3. I'm not going to say that they're going to miss the playoffs. They don't have a chance to bounce back. This is a tough spot for them, having 0-2 into Dallas, who's also desperate for a win. And Dallas has not been one of those teams that they're at least in the regular season, they don't string like bad weeks upon bad weeks. And it seems like at home, it's a good bounce back spot for them. So I'm going to take Dallas.
One of these teams are going to have.
It's plus 1. I would bet a money line.
One of these teams are about to have a horrible start to a season where they thought they were going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't.
One of these teams are about to be 0-3, and you would
give me the home team in that weird spot is all. You know what I mean?
Did Dallas lose week 1?
Oh, they lost week 2 to New Orleans.
Oh, so they haven't. They're not okay.
They're 1-1.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, but they don't want to go to 1-2 in that division. That's for sure.
For sure. I had actually originally had Dallas on. I took it off because I found one I liked a little bit more. But I'm on the opposite side of you, Maddie. I think there's something in this Vegas team, and I just refuse to believe in the Carolina Panthers. I've said they're the worst football team I think I've ever watched.
It's usually good to bet against the worst team.
Yeah.
Usually a good strategy.
Yep. And I'm also, this is a really dumb bet, but I just don't think Seattle's very good. Give me the Dolphins +5. I don't know why. I guess
agree.
it was just
that was my other one I was considering. So I'm glad.
I think it's just because Skylar Thompson.
Snoop Huntley, dude.
Oh, is it?
I think they're gonna go with Huntley, dude. That's who I think. That's what it sounds like.
Either way, like Seattle's performance against New England, who is clearly showing tonight as we record this that they are not a good football team. It took them overtime to beat them.
Bad.
I don't believe in the Seahawks, and I'm probably going to be wrong here, but it just they don't do it for me. And 5 on the road, I know it's big because it's a backup quarterback, but like I think they're just going to do enough to keep it close, and it's going to be another field goal game, one way or the other. So moving to Sunday night. One Sunday night game. We got 2 Monday nights, but Kansas City going to Atlanta. Kansas City 3-point favorite. I'll say it right now. I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. I'm not betting against Andy Reid, even though I do like the Falcons. I will be taking the Chiefs here.
I'm taking Falcons +3 at home, coming off a big win.
I'm taking the home dog.
Kirk Cousins loves primetime games.
That number is begging you to take Kansas City.
It's not true at all. But
Kansas City laying 3.
His last one game, he's 1-0. So
Kansas City laying 3. They're begging you to bet them. That is a please bet Kansas City number.
And let's be honest, I thought Kansas City did not look great last week.
It helps a lot.
They usually don't.
They have some stinkers, and I do think this Atlanta team's better. Like I've been saying it for a while. I think I picked them to win the division, but I think this team is once they get everything. Like last week, I felt like they took a step. Week 1 was bad, couldn't do anything offensively. They took a little bit of a step, obviously beating the Eagles, but now you have to take another big step. You have Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs coming in. That's a big step to ask out of Kirk Cousins. So
we shall see. Last drive of the game, and he did it. So.
That you're not wrong at all there. Monday night, we got 2 Monday night games, 2 kind of stinkers potentially. Jacksonville at Buffalo and the Washington Commanders at Cincinnati. I am going to take Washington +7. It was the biggest number, and I'm going with a dog here. So that's the only reason.
I got Bills -5 at home.
Jacksonville's bad.
Bad. Trevor Lawrence might be bad.
This is how I end up 1-11 in a lot of ways. But this is also how I go 6-0 at times too. So, Zach, I've gone with you on a lot of these today. I'm going to go against you on this one. I'm going to take Jacksonville. It's a stinky line. It's just I don't know. It's just
you think they're going to finally get it figured out?
I think there's something. They're one of those teams that lingers around in these stupid games. They get a lot of backdoor covers. It feels like I don't know. That's not like a way to handicap a game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like bank on the backdoor cover. But I don't know. It's one of those oddball numbers. It just seems weird. That feels to me like you would have expected Buffalo to be like 7, 8, 9. You know what I mean? I don't know. Something seems off to me. So that's it. That's all it is.
All right. Well, let us know what everybody else's picks are. We'll see what shakes out after week 3. Let's wrap things up as always, boys. I picked one here. The Reese's peanut butter brand is easily my favorite candy brand. I was in the gas station today. This came to my mind, so I wanted to look up and see how many different variations of Reese's treats they make. Turns out the number is 63. 63 different types of Reese's. So we're going to take the TCF top 3 of Reese's products. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first. What should I go? The miniature cups.
Mini cups.
The mini cups. I love them. You can eat 1,000,000 of them.
That's a good pick. I don't know if it's first round, but that's a good pick. Like you said, you can eat 1,000,000 of them.
It's my own preference.
You're not wrong here. Maddie, do you want the 2 or do you want the wrapper?
I want the wrap.
You always, and that's how I know you got something up your sleeve. This scares me. As someone who has been a Reese's aficionado for well over 15 years. The greatest candy bars sold at gas stations are without a doubt white chocolate Reese's peanut butter cups, the original.
He left them both on the board. I can't believe it.
Go ahead. This, again, like Zach said, personal preference. The white chocolate Reese's peanut butter cup is the greatest candy ever invented.
It's a good one. It's not a bad one. I got to think now because I don't know where your head's at. And I got one that I thought I was going to take first round. But now I think
The head games.
I might be able to steal it in the third. And that's all right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the risk. All right. First one, round one, pick 3. It's Reese's Christmas tree. And that's by far the best Reese's cup product there is. It's not in terms of the
most because of Christmas, but
in terms of the chocolate to peanut butter contrast ratio, structure, all of it, Reese's Christmas tree is the best variation of it. And it doesn't really even compare.
I don't know. I think that the pumpkin and the Easter egg, the ratio is just as good.
Whoa. We're not
pretending picks here. What are we doing?
Sorry,
what are you doing
I did
here?
get a hold of myself.
on.
Guys, I'm keeping it in a 63 thing list here, so I apologize.
All right, so first round I took the Reese's Christmas tree. Second round I'm going the Reese's Take 5 bar. It's an elite candy bar. It's an elite candy bar.
I never go for it though. I don't think
it's got the perfect mix of everything. I love it.
My pick is one that you never see anymore. It was the first variation of when they started putting mix-ins inside the big king-size cups, and that is the Crunchy Cookie Big Cup. They're almost like little Oreo pieces of the cookie inside of the Reese's. Absolutely elite.
I think it's too
seems
much.
Like a lot of things you just said there.
You're missing out. It changed my life, if some would say.
I'm gonna go with the dip pretzels.
Yeah, those are fun.
Oh, amazing.
Zach, when you remind me of a closely related honorable mention when we get to the pretzel.
And then I'll go the Reese's Pieces. Has anyone taken that?
99 on the black right there, man. 99 on the black.
Reese's Pieces, dude. Those are just Halloween amazing.
Halloween, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday.
You don't see them. Am I wrong, or you don't see them a lot? You don't see them a lot.
Candy.
You don't see them as much as you should.
Yeah.
Agreed completely.
They should be up by the M&Ms.
My third pick, I'm very stuck here because I feel like Maddie wants to talk about one of these in the honorable mention that I feel like I should take here. But I'll do Reese's Sticks. Those things are incredible with the wafers. Oh, you get a little bit of everything in that one.
Can't go wrong. They have it was almost like a whole bar too at one point that was Reese's branded of a wafer bar.
Yes.
It was almost like a whatchamacallit, but it was a Reese's branded, and I can't remember what they called it. The Nutrageous was good too. The Reese's Nutrageous was a solid candy bar as well.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm not tipping picks because this is my last pick of the third round. I gotta show you a picture.
Done that, so
it's the Costco special, the Reese's peanut butter cup ice cream. It's the peanut butter cup with peanut butter ice cream, and that's why I was gonna take 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2 anywhere I could. I didn't think anybody was gonna snag this based on your guys' early picks, so that's why I decided to wait. I got number 1 on my board in the third round.
We're done, right? Honorable mentions.
I'm a Sam's Club guy, so
isn't there one with like a banana in it?
The banana,
yes, those are really good.
The animal cracker ones.
Oh.
The Reese's animal crackers. Oh my god! Dude.
We actually have like probably 2.5 bags of those in our house at this exact moment.
Good.
That was the one I thought you were going to take.
They have peanut butter Reese's peanut butter dipped strawberries too.
Yes, the frozen ones.
My gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Those are a game changer. I got those back this summer. Those were incredible. I also tried the new lava cake It's what like basically it's like fudge on the bottom of it. Tried that this weekend. That's incredible. So when you're out shopping at your local convenience store, grab one of those. I just tried that this past weekend. How do you guys feel about the big cups with the pretzel bites in it?
No.
Oh, what?
I don't like the Reese's cups with stuff in them.
I like the pretzel.
They had the
that's,
candy
covered
bit
in
ones,
there. I don't
too.
need it in the middle.
I see. They've got the Reese's Puffs. Those ones were great. They've got the ones with the potato chips in it. Those were great. Reese's doesn't miss, if we're being honest.
No, it's
How
hard
many
to.
products you have to miss at some point?
But
They used to sell straight Reese's peanut butter too, like in the jar, like with like.
but
Oh
it
my
never
gosh.
felt like it
That's
never
like a
felt
heart
the
attack.
same.
That's a heart attack in a jar.
Last one, boys. Reese's Puffs. How do you guys feel about Reese's Puff cereal?
Good.
Solid. You know what else is sneaky good now that they make is a Kit Kat cereal is really good.
I don't think I've tried that one. I'll have
See,
to
they
put it
make
on my
milk that tastes like the cereal after it.
Can't go
Oh
wrong.
yeah,
You can buy like cinnamon toast crunch milk.
milk.
Cinnamon toast crunch.
Back
milk
in my
are like
day, we had to
one
work
and
for
one.
that flavor.
You steal some Cocoa Krispies or Cocoa Puffs, man, and you're just living large.
No, I wasn't going to eat the rest of the night, but we're going to finish up here, and I'm going to go have a bowl of cereal. So, thank you, everyone, for joining us. Episode 234. We always appreciate you guys checking in. Make sure you find us on X at @typical_Chicago. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, like those pages there. Subscribe on YouTube for all of our content in video form. Wherever you get your podcast, subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you do, wherever you get them. We are there. You can find me on X at Boomy TCF. And of course, these two that I've been joined with tonight, that is Zach at Z Lilia TCF and Maddie at schools_01. As always, we appreciate you guys joining us. That was episode 234 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.